This video is for anyone who's ever told themselves, "I'll rest when this is done," or "I'll slow down when things calm down." But somehow, the when never comes. Even when your body is screaming for a break, you push through. Even when you do take a day off, you still feel guilty, or restless, or like you're falling behind. If that sounds familiar, you're not lazy, you're not broken. You've just been taught to live in a way that makes rest feel unsafe. And today, we're going to talk about why that happens and how you can reclaim your right to rest without guilt. Most people think the reason they don't rest is simple: too much work, too many responsibilities, too little time. And while that might be true on the surface, the deeper truth is this. For many of us, rest triggers a kind of internal alarm. If you grew up in an environment where safety meant staying alert, or where you had to constantly prove your worth to be loved, your nervous system learned that slowing down wasn't an option. Rest wasn't rest. It was vulnerability, and vulnerability didn't feel safe. Think about it. If every time you let your guard down as a child, something bad happened, your body learned, stay on guard. Don't relax. Don't let your attention wander. It's the same reason some people can't sleep deeply in a new place. Part of their brain is still watching for danger. This is why so many high-achieving, over-functioning people feel anxious when they try to take a break. It's not laziness, it's conditioning. From a young age, many of us were praised for what we did, not who we were. We were rewarded for achievements, for being helpful, for pushing through. Maybe your parents lit up when you brought home good grades, but didn't notice you unless you were accomplishing something. Maybe you got extra affection when you were good or helpful, but less when you were tired, upset, or in need. And without even realizing it, you linked your value to output, which means when you stop producing, that fragile sense of worth starts to wobble. Your mind whispers, if you're not doing, you're not enough. Rest, in that framework, doesn't feel like self-care. It feels like proof you're falling behind. The truth, rest is not the opposite of productivity. It's the foundation of it. But until you separate your value from your output, your brain will keep trying to earn the right to pause. This isn't just mental, it's physiological. When your nervous system spends years in fight or flight mode, your body forgets what calm feels like. Stillness feels foreign. Your mind searches for the next thing to fix, to plan, to control, because that's the state it knows best. It's like driving on the freeway for hours, then pulling into a quiet neighborhood. You still feel like you're going fast, even when you've slowed down. It takes time for your body to adjust. So if you've ever tried to rest and found yourself suddenly thinking about the laundry, the bills, the unanswered emails, it's not because you're bad at resting. It's because your nervous system hasn't learned what safe and still feels like yet. The same is true for your emotions. If you've been holding everything together for years, sitting still might let feelings surface that you've been avoiding. And without tools to meet them, that can feel overwhelming. We live in a world that glorifies busyness. People wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. We're told to hustle, rise and grind, and earn every ounce of rest. And on the flip side, rest is often sold to us as a luxury. Spa days, vacations, retreats. Things you have to buy, plan for, and schedule. But rest isn't just an activity. It's not a weekend at the beach or an hour-long bath. It's a relationship you have with your own energy. And you don't need perfect circumstances to nurture it. You need permission from yourself. Unfortunately, permission is exactly what the culture of overwork doesn't want you to give yourself. Because if you rest, you're less productive in a system that profits from your exhaustion. If rest feels wrong, you can't just tell yourself, okay, I'll stop feeling guilty now. You have to reteach your body and mind that it's safe to slow down. Here are a few gentle starting points. Micro rests throughout the day. Instead of waiting for a vacation to finally exhale, practice taking 30 to 60-second pauses. Notice your breath. Look out the window. Let your shoulders drop. These small breaks signal safety to your nervous system. Redefine productivity. Include recovery as part of your definition. Athletes know rest is essential for performance. Why should life be any different? Challenge the "I haven't earned it" thought. When guilt shows up, ask, who decided rest is something I have to earn? And do I want to keep living by that rule? Anchor rest to something meaningful. Instead of seeing it as wasted time, see it as the soil where your clarity, creativity, and capacity grow. Use sensory cues to signal rest. Light a candle, put on soft music, or wrap yourself in a blanket when you take a break. Over time, your body will associate those cues with safety and restoration. If you start small, you'll notice the guilt softening over time. Not because you forced it away, but because your body finally believes that you're still safe when you're not doing. One of the simplest ways to start resting without guilt is something I call permission moments. Here's how it works. The next time you notice the urge to push through, stop for just 1 minute. Close your eyes and place a hand over your heart. Say to yourself, I am safe to pause. The world can wait for 1 minute. At first, your mind might argue. It might try to convince you that 1 minute is too long, that there's something urgent you should be doing. But if you can sit through the discomfort, you'll notice nothing actually falls apart. And over time, those small moments stack up. You start to notice that the world doesn't fall apart when you rest. And more importantly, neither do you. When rest becomes part of your life, not just an emergency response, you start to see something beautiful happen. Your mind feels clearer, your body feels lighter, your relationships feel more connected because you're not running on fumes. You become more present, not just for others, but for yourself. You start noticing little details you used to rush past. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of leaves in the wind, the way your breath feels at the top of an inhale. And you start to access a deeper kind of wisdom. Because in the quiet moments, without the noise of constant doing, you can actually hear yourself again. And that's where the real magic happens. Not just in recovering your energy, but in remembering who you are when you're not running on empty. Rest isn't just about recovery. It's about returning to yourself. If this message resonated with you, I want to invite you to subscribe. Because here, we talk about the patterns that keep you stuck and the tools to finally break them. Every week, you'll leave with a deeper understanding of yourself and practical ways to live with more peace, clarity, and freedom. In the comments, write, I choose to rest without guilt. Let it be a small but powerful commitment to yourself, that your worth is not something you have to earn, and that your body deserves care without condition. And remember, you don't have to wait for the world to give you permission. You can give it to yourself today.